Crypto market has been volatile. We have to agree on that point. We see a lot of different coins bouncing, pumping, and on the other side, some of them correcting. So you do have to keep in mind these level of correction goes more in percent terms when you actually see smaller assets. But the opposite side is also true. Some of these are bursting through. You have to actually keep an eye on this. Like there was a call from us earlier this morning saying, okay, keep an eye on this one. The bearish pattern is breaking bullish. Now, that actually means like the bulls are really getting stronger. You need to keep an eye on your targets. And right now we're getting close to those targets. And something which is important is what we did yesterday. And I'm really happy that I did, showing that the market can correct hard, and I think we'll have to move out of some of these assets and then enter into other segment of different assets, right? On the public platform, say Twitter, we actually dropped this thought process: look for strong supports. Right now, this is the strong support. I agree. But yesterday, it was not looking like that. It was like this. So unless we drop 22,500, we're going to hold that, or else we're going to look for this. Great. What happened? The price came to this level. Look at that. The support median which we dropped, 22,800. Then it bounced. Why is that? Because there was a lot of orders which actually changed. Right now the market says, no. There's a ton of activity happening here. So you need to listen to the market. You need to understand how the volume is shifting. You need to understand the order books, how things are actually evolving. And that's a happy news. Now, XRP. Look at this. We just broke to the downside from the 21-day moving average. So I'm like, okay, what's really happening? We need to keep an eye on the next level of support, which is going to be the next moving average on the higher time frame, 0.37. If you remember what we discussed in yesterday's video, we talked about this. Intense BTC moves is going to come, and there's going to be crypto gem opportunities. Now, that was not a lie. We exited a lot of positions, agreed yesterday night, and then we entered a lot of different trades, some of which looks like this. People are taking profits. It's happy that they are doing that from various different trades, but some of these assets are popping. Now this is a 3x leverage trade, so you'll actually see the profit 3 times, but reality is right now that asset, it's like over 30% day already. Now I think it should be even higher because on Binance it's actually showing 0.38, touched 0.41, and here you see 1.33. So the volume is increasing. You see the market responding. You see these coins popping. So there is something happening in the market. That was the reason why we had this. Now, the basic sense is not a lot of people will see this for sure, unless you give them the massive hype without, any reality. It's going to be hard, but that's what we do here. Giving you the real value, real education is the real goal. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10%. Now, I know that ALBT dropped heavily, but we were actually expecting a drop. Now, we had members who actually took profits. We know that things are evolving, things are happening, all those are happening. But we didn't know that there's going to be a hacker coming out and doing that. Fine. But yes, we did take profit. So you need to understand like the market actually has a lot of different moving stuffs, and keeping an eye on them is important because some of these are actually like, one of the best opportunities you see out there in the market because they are actually moving. Like say, for example, this one VXV, when we had this breakout call, it's already 100% or more in the market. If you're in the market looking for that asset, now no one would deny the fundamental side of it. Right? It's actually popping, it's actually going through, and it's already 20% day for now. And you're looking at the volume. The volume is not big compared to others because it's a small cap coin, but you're seeing that you already did close to 100% more, right? So if you know it's breaking higher, if you want, you can enter, and these are your targets. It's actually helpful, right? We have to keep an eye on the market where this is moving. Now, it gives you an edge. Say, when you're looking at this, it's one among the top movers. Now, yes, that's 300 to 400. And if you are like, okay, that's a little bit more riskier for me, I'm not looking at that area. Now, you slowly come in. So, this one here, the 200 to 300 range, metal. We had this in the call. Now, you don't literally call everything. You call where you see huge opportunity, right? And we had that call there. Right now, it's working out. It's not actually 1.27. On the exchange right now, it's 1.45. So your gain is more than 100% right now. So things happen in that way. Now, why am I highlighting this? That's 200 to 300. 150 to 300, I personally consider like, okay, you have some volume. It's not micro cap. You have some decent liquidity. You can get in, you can get out, right? Then we had calls on Jasmine. It's actually going through. We are happy. Then Fetch, we had that call. It's actually going through. You are hitting your targets. This is like 13 hours ago, earlier today morning before I left to church. I dropped these updates and I'm really happy this is happening so soon. And then, RLC, we had the calls. It's going through. We are in profit. Then Ocean, it's among the top performers. Now, the difference here is now you are in 100 to 200, not 200 to 300 or they. So your ROI structure is going to be different. But still, if you are looking for what we do, this is like last year, April 2022, where we were saying, Ocean, this does not actually look good. You can actually drop. Now, what happens after that is the price actually drops heavily. You can actually see the bottom being close to 0.15, which is actually painful. You have to keep that in mind, right? Then we gave that idea. Yeah, we think it's going to go back up and these levels. Now we actually saw where the price is, right? You actually went through all those levels already. So we showed it's going to go higher. Then we came up with the next post, October. That's like another couple of months after that. This one was August. So another month after that, we came up with this post saying, okay, this is breaking through. Keep your targets on your eyes. Then December, like in a couple of months back, we were saying, okay, we had this FTX fear, but now we are breaking through. And we had our target set on already. So you understand that the market is showing you a ton of opportunity. And if you are looking to take benefit of that and to take profit from all of these, then yeah, you can look at the Patreon. The link is in the description below. Why am I highlighting this right now with this importance? Because I personally think next 3-6 months is going to be great in this market. 100%. I really do believe that. Now, we may actually see Bitcoin dropping. We may actually see Bitcoin being volatile. Agreed. Completely. But you're not actually in a downtrend. That's what's different. Right now, if you're looking for a swing high, you had this one where you are literally creating highs, which is lower, trending to the downside, which is not breaching the previous level. Fine, but right now, something changed, right? You create another lower low here, but after that, you went on creating a higher low structure, which is actually literally bullish, right? So you have ability in the market, which is suggesting that you can move up. But can this come down and then bounce? Yeah, 100% for sure. That's like $21,000. But what we are doing right now is following the market to see how things are evolving in the market. Are people interested in buying this asset close to that range, say 23,000, close to that range, up and down, the price is moving. If people think it's going to be an opportunity, they're going to jump on it, right? And what we do at the same time is like the pattern analysis. It actually gives you a bit more clarity on these ideas, right? So when you're in profit heavily, take profit. If it's 50%, 100% in a day or a week, that's actually huge. That's why I'm like, this is 70% up. But for me, I think we are going to go even higher. And right now, that was like, when we were like close to, I think 1.2. And right now we are close to 1.4. Now, in these assets, when you're trading with leverage, understand that's 3x leverage, which we actually went in. So the gain is comparatively higher. It's risky too. If it drops 10%, now you drop 35%. So unless you know what you're doing, it's going to be really hard. Fine. Now, back to the real market, talking about like, what Bitcoin structure is like on a daily, which is important. Right now, we are testing the 21-day moving average. And if we bounce, it's going to be great. I actually happened to see a post, I think it's from credible crypto. And I'm like, okay, that looks really crazy. Meaning the way he explains with the past, for me, I think it was actually really great. So let's look credible crypto. And here we are. We actually will go through this one because I think this is actually important. Why? The way he give you the understanding of the market, it is really important. There can be a little bit here and there movements, agreed, but then what happens? Right? The market actually goes parabolic. If you've been watching this channel, we've been talking about these opportunities popping in the market. And I think this is another guy who's doing fantastic stuff, right? He's giving you all these macro ideas to understand what's happening. And if you also take time to learn from these, that's going to be really great. But if you're like, no, I'm having a busy, tight life and I want calls like this when we are breaking out and when we are reaching targets, I need to get update like this, we are reaching towards the target, update your take profits and all, then this is going to be a great option, right? Now, the market is going to be volatile. If you go on hourly chart, 5-minute chart, it's going to be massively volatile for sure. But what I would personally say is if you're in an asset like this and it's actually popping through, one of the easiest thing for you to do is like go back in time, look when it was doing higher highs, right? Short term, medium term, whatever. You scroll through, you pick a time frame, whichever you feel is a bull market or a trending higher session, right? Now go to a daily chart and see what it actually does when it goes parabolic. From $1.8 to $10, that's massive. Now, that's one off. Okay, fine, let's leave that. Another case here is 0.85 running towards 1.7. So that's more than 100% a day. Then again, 0.5 towards 1. So you again get 100% a day. Now, you can literally move on in and around in these assets and understand like, okay, this is not one off. You actually see this popping from 2.6 to 5.2. So it does more than 100% days. So when you're in an asset, look what that asset does in average when bulls enter, when they become crazy. Now, yeah, we started at $1. We are already this high, 50% up. So for us on a 3x leverage trade, here we go, 3x leverage trade, we are 150% up. Fine. So keep this in mind. If you are comfortable with 100%, get out. That's perfect. If you are happy with 50%, that's the right thing for you to do. Take the profit and move out. Wait for something better. Because the market right now is showing a lot of opportunity. Whether you are looking in the first hundreds, the second hundreds, the next hundreds, it is massively volatile and it is showing you a ton of opportunity to take benefit of. Now, if you are completely like an investor, go for the coins in these list, maybe 100 to 250, and with decent volume and great projects, it's going to be good. Say, if you are interested in small caps, now again, VXV, Vector is like more like getting a lot of adoption, even though it's small. You just go through Google, you try, look at the adoption, where it's being used, what are the networks being developed, what the developers are doing, and you will go crazy, right? Comparing the price, comparing the total supply, you understand that the tokenomics of this particular project is really interesting. So in same way, you actually go through a lot of different assets in this class, then you get to take benefit of what these market give you, right? Yes, it's going to be volatile. It's not going to be easy. No one is saying this is an easy task. Look at this. It's breaking higher. You can identify it easily. Now, if you open a chart and you understand this, great. You have spent the time, you took time to learn this, and now you have an edge in the market. Not everyone actually spent 5, 6, 7 years to get that perspective, right? Same thing, if you spend time, now you know what is coming on. Now, look at XRP. Yeah, we are above the moving average. Now, one of my biggest investment is XRP, and that's why I'm like, guy, do something, brother. This is not pushing higher. Now, we know fundamentally the SEC case is lagging and it's pushing us lower. It's kind of bleeding in terms of time. But I'm like, I'm fine because I do see these opportunities in the market and I do understand these concerns in the market. Like there's another call related to, Luna, FTX, Celsius. We had similar calls 3-4 months before they were dropping. Agreed, 3-4 months. For some, it's a good call. You gave us a little early. For some, it's too early, right? So it depends on human beings. The perspective will vary. So if you are here on the other side, say, you have just 10% of your portfolio where you are trying to make profits. And you do these kind of moves, so automatically now it's 20, now it's 30. If you are repeating that over 2-3 months, when the market is showing you the money is moving within the market. Again, remember, at least in last 5-6 videos, I'm repeating this. You are watching that the crypto market is close to $1.1 trillion. The market as a whole is not going up. So you see some assets dropping, you see some assets moving up. Keep in mind, as I highlighted in last complete 1 week video, money is moving hands. Make sure either you don't lose or you make money. You don't want to close in red unless that project is not going there, or you believe that is going to be a major drop. Now, if it's like the ALBT case, it's hard to predict a hack. But fundamentally speaking, if you are on the technical side, you're like, okay, fundamental, that's a great project. Fine. On the technical side, okay, you do see a probability of correction, take profits, right? And then it dropped massively. So you're lucky. You turned out to be a little bit lucky before the market actually popped. So the drops can happen. And if you're looking for like 20% drop, you bought in there, and then the market dropped another 50, it's not your issue because you can't predict a hacker coming in. Agreed. But then you do have the option to keep that as a fundamental asset for the time being and see how the market responds while you take benefit of all these opportunities. That's how you can stay positive in this market. Say, that's what I look here. XRP, yeah, one of the biggest assets. Long-term fundamental, it's going to be the biggest gainer. I agree. Short-term, maybe this year, maybe next year. Who knows which is going to be the best ROI gainer. So in between, you have opportunity. You just have to think properly whether you are going to take this as an opportunity, because that opportunity comes with a risk, right? So if you are really not looking for the risk, crypto market is not for you. If you are really not looking for the gains, then investing is not for you. So it does not come with one. The attachment is there. Risk to reward is always there. So if you go low risk, fine, your ROI is low. But the stability is what matters. So guys, again, when you're in the market, do take time to learn from this market. Maybe spend 2 to 3 hours a day if you are in that hurry. If not, spend 30 minutes over the next 2-3 years and you master these calls. I'm right now in a traditional financial education area where they are focusing on CFA. And the comedy here is most of these professors say, TA is not that valid. You can't actually pinpoint these calls. And I'm like, say, for example, the AGIX pump, as you guys know, we showed in the last video, the target was 3.35. It hit 0.351 and dropped. Right? And then it went back up to the next target. So I'm like, I don't see that, because for the time being, right now, you look at this call here, right? 1.47. In a moment, I'll show you what my call on this one was earlier today. So you guys ready? Here we go. This was my call, updated call. Look at the time, updated call saying, yeah, we broke higher, but I think the target is going to be somewhere here. So if you are that conservative guy, you'll say, okay, I'll take profit just below the target. But look at the market. It came almost close. I'm like, you can't get it 100% correct. 95% in trading is way better, right? But not a lot of people will agree that you can do this. But in reality, you can do this. Why? You put the time, effort in to learn through the market. And everyone can do this. I can do this. You can do this. Just you need to take the effort to learn through the markets. And understanding of the markets is going to be important. Reading is going to be painful, but it's going to be knowledge creation here. When the market drops, nothing happens. Why? The fear, the panic pushes the market lower. No one can calculate how your or a lot of people's emotion goes, right? It can drop. Price goes volatile. Same when you go to the upside. Sometimes this can happen. Exact on your target. Sometimes it's more like it come above your target level because the market just pushes it through. It's becoming on that edge of greed. You don't want to fall into that edge of greed. You take your profit at your target or just below that. Make sure you take profits. because most of the assets are going for wave 2 and you don't want to miss wave 2. Or if you're in an asset which is doing wave 3, you don't want to go into a bear market without taking profits. So consider that as a positive thing for the day. And guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And if you haven't watched the last video yet, I would say last couple of videos, at least 3 videos, is going to be really interesting and helpful, because we covered what's happening right now in the market during that time. We told these small caps are going to pop, and it's popping, and we talked about XRP2, and that's literally what's happening in the market right now. So if you have some time today, tomorrow, I'd suggest take time, watch this. It may not be the perfect pronunciation, it may not be the perfect sound, but you are going to receive value.